Welcome back to another episode here on the Pulse. I'm Patricia Falco Beccalli, your host, and I'm excited because this month, September 2025, we have two full moons and they are actually quite significant. So if you want to manifest anything, especially love, I got just the right person for you with me today. Her name is Deborah Graham. She's a psychic, very, very much specialized on attracting love, how you can attract and then manifest love. And Deborah, let's cut through this chase. First of all, let me ask you, how come that you're doing what you're doing right now?
Well, I like to say it's a blessing and a curse. I didn't find it, it found me. I'm a third generation psychic. So it was my grandmother, my mother, and myself. I started seeing visions at the earliest age of 6 years old as a psychic medium and matchmaker.
Okay, so how does a 6-year-old know what a psychic is, what a matchmaker is, what relationship or sex or conjugation is all about in the first place?
Absolutely. Well, because coming from a psychic family, they didn't boohoo it. They didn't send me to a psychiatrist or tell me I was crazy. They knew that I was in tune. And most people who do have visions and feel things or talk to spirits, the first thing they do is call their local doctor or psychiatrist because they think their kid is crazy. In my case, my family was very intuitive, so they knew that I had the gift. So they didn't shut it or boohoo it. They opened it up. So they allowed me to express what I was feeling. So I would talk to spirits. I would speak to my grandfather, whom I've never met before. I would see things that would happen days, weeks, months before they would happen. And the older I got, as I like to say it, my antennas were just buzzing more and more and more. And it's something that you cannot turn off. It's with you 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So I like to say it's a blessing and a curse because you can't turn it off. A lot of people are like, oh, I wish I was in your shoes. Be careful what you ask for because if you get it, you may not be able to handle it because it's not something that you just get to do if and when you feel like it. It's with you 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's energy. So whether somebody's calling me about their business, about their family, about health issues, whether they're calling me about love, relationship, or they want to connect with a loved one or energy and they need healing because as an intuitive, not only am I able to look at you, I look in you, I become you. So I like to call myself the 30-second MRI machine. I'm able to go in and scan your body, your energy, and tell you exactly what's going on. And then I teach people and learn them how to elevate their vibration on an energetic level, physical, mind, body, and soul. So they're able to use these tools and instruments throughout their work, their career. Because if you want to have a happy life, you have to be clear in your body because your body is your vessel and it's like a car. If it breaks down, it's very hard to bring it back up. So that's why I help people and teach them how to stay positive, whether it's love, finding their soulmate, their relationship. But the first rule of thumb is to love the one you're with yourself.
I love that one. Now, the key note you just made, I think it's all about energy and being aware of your own energy and how you present your energy to the world or how you can rev up or tone down your energy. I think this is very
Correct.
pivotal. And that means also to connect yourself or be in connection with yourself. How difficult is that really in a day-to-day situation? How
Very difficult because you have to learn how to ground yourself. So sometimes just eating well and eating healthy and exercising is not enough because you got to remember mental stress causes physical stress. The first rule of it is it could be an emotion, it could be in your DNA, it could have started from birth, it could be a past life thing, so many things. So not going to the traditional therapist or the traditional, psychiatrist, and normally what they'll do is they'll put you on some, medications or whatever it is. I try to teach people to learn to get down to the root core of your problem because not that I'm boohooing medication, some people do need it, but not everybody needs it. Just because you're having a bad day, there's a pill for everything. So I don't believe in the happy pill for everything. I believe that we have the power to heal our body eternally, energetically, and we have a light switch that does go on and off. And it could be a trauma. It could be something from childhood that you stuffed up in your big toe that you actually pushed away for weeks, days, months. It could even be a lifetime. It could be a karmic contract that you're holding on to. It could be that it is something in your DNA, in your lineage. And a lot of that does affect us, the way we talk, the way we act, the way our posture is, the way our eye contact and movement is. And that's how I'm able to help millions of people across the board, whether they're, physically seeing me one-on-one or whether it's a phone call, because I don't need to touch you. I just need to hear you and connect. That's why I'm international with people across the board.
Well, that would have been just my next question, because you were talking about yourself as a human MRI and energy travels. And I guess when you see me right now, you hear my voice, the way I project, I'm sure you've already scanned me upside.
Oh, I've already scanned you from the first second you said hello. I had you at hello, baby.
Hello, baby. Oh my God. Okay. I'm not I'm not sure if I want to get indiscreet now in front of my audience. But no, but what I think is also fundamental and an interesting one to dock onto, and then we can, I think, also look a little bit at the system, how to potentially attract during a highly energetic time like the full moon, what you would like to
Absolutely.
attract is that happy pill. All right. So you say you don't give happy pills, but do I hear you right when you say you're your own happy pill? You are your own.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. That's what you are. You are your own vessel. You have all the mechanics to heal your body from anything, whether it's trauma, physical illness, mental, emotional. It could be a love relationship. You could, this is a real disease. Having a broken heart, somebody leaves you or dies or walks out on you. That is a physical disease in the body. Is it an emotional, And when you reprogram the brain, and that's what I help people do, is to reprogram their energy, their brain, their energy, to actually help them clear. And then using the elements of the full moon and so many different modalities that we'll get into it in just a few moments, those instruments are able to help you, because you got to remember, grounding yourself, rooting yourself is a 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's like diet and exercise. You could get there, but can you stay there? That's the ultimate goal, is to really positively, energetically move into your vibration and never be afraid, because that's most people's main thing is that we're living in fear. Don't live in fear. Do it now. Live your life, because the worst thing that could happen is you start all over again and press the reset button.
Which is a good thing, potentially.
Absolutely, because we learn from our mistakes. And if you do it in this life, you don't have to come back in your next life, or you can choose to come back and do it again and again and again. So many of my clients still call me, whether they're listening to the Psychic Connection podcast with Deborah Graham, where you could stream it anywhere, and they'll call me and they'll be asking me, what can I do to change my energy, to change my life? It starts within you. You hold that vessel of energy. And when you allow fear to enable you, then you're actually blocking yourself from something really big. So my thing is, just go for it. Live in the power of now, because life is short. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a damn good time.
Yeah, Eckhart Tolle, power of now. And what you're saying also is very much resounding what Dr. Joe Dispenza always said.
Absolutely, 100%. It's about connection. But the difference between me and Joe is that I'm a psychic. So I'm able to look into your soul, not just teach you as a coach and a mentor, but I'm able to actually get down to the radiant of energy on exactly what is happening within your inner self.
And that is, I think, the key. And this is maybe where fear also comes into. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Deborah, because I think we live in fear, even in fear in looking at our potential trauma. I think we all are traumatized at some point. But
of course, that's what the live and learn is.
Exactly. And Gabor Mate, he's like one of those gurus when it comes to trauma. But one thing is how do I recognize my own trauma? I know I'm not feeling good. I know I don't function good. I know I'm a shit attractor, let's say. I mean, you do have those people where you go like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I'm not you, because everything bad happens to you just as well you exist, because I get the good stuff. But moving from a recognition and acceptance, Deborah, to then letting it go, to then be ready to move on and just, elevate that vibration.
Absolutely. Follow your
Gita. Trajectory. Tell me about that. The how about it.
The how is to listen to your Gita. The Gita is the energy that connects you to God and God consciousness. That is our third chakra. That's where it's the beginning. That connects you to that vessel that goes back to your mother's mother's mother. So basically it's the umbilical cord that connects us to our energy and our ancestors, right? So listening to that gut is what's going to be your key ingredient. A lot of people end up with a lot of stomach issues, whether it's IBS or they end up with Crohn's and all different kinds of issues, because they're not letting go. You have to let sometimes that shit go. And if you don't release some of that, then that energy is just going to bottle up and it's going to go deeper and rooted and more larger. So you got to get down to what I call the root core. The best thing is paying attention to the signs. Okay. Numbers are very important because I do a lot of numerology.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing numbers 1111, 555, 7788 is infinity. It's all about connected healing. Each number has a specific energy. Like 11 usually means that the universal energy, a loved one is trying to communicate with you. Those are always your angel numbers. 8 means that you need balancing. If you're seeing that number 8 a lot, right? If you're seeing the number 4, that means that you're missing a partnership. That means there's something missing. Maybe not having that physical connection, maybe not having that love relationship. Maybe there's something missing out. Looking at the number 5 is all about using your voice. It's about connecting back with your 5th chakra. That means you're living in fear. So numbers tell you so many things. See, the universe has a way of teaching us and learning us. But the problem is with most people is that we're so connected and yet we're so disconnected because we're living again in our fears and we're afraid with movement. So you have to move, you have to move your body. You have to stretch. Like when you first wake up in the morning, just stretch, because you're stretching out your fears. You're stretching out your worries. Another thing I recommend to people is always get up and stand up on your right foot. That means you got to train your brain to do it now. It doesn't always happen so easy and quick, but get up out of bed and step on your right foot. So you're going right forward, right ahead, right in front of you. So if you're moving forward and you're moving right ahead, it makes life a little bit easier. Meditation and grounding yourself, thinking of the color red and being rooted and grounded like being a tree into the earth is very important to do at night, because what it'll do is it'll root you and ground you so you're making better decisions when you're waking up the next morning. So these simple tips can help you very deep, very large, to really help you activate on a cellular level, because you want to move the energy from your left side of your body to the right side of your body, because it's all frequency and energy. Because if you sit there and really think about it, what are we? We're a body, water, and energy. Of course, 90% of our body is water, but water is an energy field. Water is a frequency, okay? So you want to connect with your frequency, and it all goes back to that 3rd chakra. It's all back to the Gita, because when you were born into a body of water. So it's all about that frequency and healing and really just grounding yourself as if you are a tree being rooted into the earth and you're getting nurtured back from the rest of the forest, because that's what the forest does. When one tree is ill, the forest gives the life back to those other trees. So think about that. Energy is a give and a take. It's not all about me. It's about giving and receiving. So maybe a good thing that you can tell your audience is pay forward. Do something for a stranger. Maybe buy that cup of coffee. Ask that person if they need help. Maybe help that person, next door neighbor, whatever it may be. But when you ask, you shall receive it. And when you give, you receive it. So if you put it out there, the universe will definitely take care of it for you.
I love that concept. But tell me, Deborah, why is the right side so important for our energies?
The right is your giving, okay? It is the giving side of the body. The left side is the receiving side. So when you're giving, that means you're actually moving vibration and energy. And dominantly, our right side is supposed to be stronger. But if you're noticing that you're having more elements or illnesses on your left side, that means you're giving way too much of your energy away. So if you're noticing, oh, I'm always being diagnosed with something on my left side of my body, or I'm feeling more weaker or feeling sicker on my left side of my body, maybe you're giving too much energy. And you know what I'm saying, and allowing too much to come in, that you're giving too much energy away. Or if you're feeling that on the right side of your body that you're feeling more ill or more sick, that means you got to stop giving away so much energy.
It's a give and
It's all
take.
vibration. It's all movement in the body.
Yeah, but the direction is actually very interesting. I wasn't clear about that at all. And I think it's fundamental because, like this, you were talking about pain early on. If you have more on the right side, a headache rather than on the left side, or you have a twitch on the right side, or some sort of, I don't know, contraction of the muscle on one side,
Correct.
the other side, it is a physical indication or manifestation that your energies are either overwhelmed or taken out too much or given away too much.
Somebody might be psychically attacking you too. You don't know about that energy, because other people could suck the energy from you like an energy, what we call vampire.
Wow. Well, there's quite a few vampires around. But let's now get to the heart of what you are all about and what you would like to really communicate also today in terms of how we can step by step attract love, how we can raise our vibrations to attract what we can give, but also what we need with the help of the moon energy, if I can say it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you call it the 6 tips to manifest love during a full moon. And the first we go through them one by one, Deborah. What do you think? Shall we do that?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
think that would be easier.
Exactly. It's easier for our audience also to understand. So the first one is set intentions. How do we do that?
By setting your intentions, you could write them down on a piece of paper the night before the full moon, and write them down on a piece of paper and place them right at the head of your bed. So they're right underneath you at the head. So that means that things are coming forward and in front of you. So you're getting rid of the old, the worn out, but you're actually setting those intentions right during a full moon. Because what the full moon will do, it'll actually make things more heightened for you. So otherwise, you're working smarter, not harder.
Set intentions, write it down, put it under your pillow. I heard that about doing this during the new moon, but you're doing it at the full moon, right?
Full moon is great. You could do it at the new moon too, but the full moon is the best time because it's a new you, a new beginning, a fresh new start.
Excellent. So meditate and affirm. And I think with meditation already, some people might say, "Whoa, how do I meditate?" I mean, I do
Right.
transcendental meditation daily.
Oh,
So
yes,
for
yes.
me, it is a concept. It's normal. I need my energy. I just go down and
You
then.
have to bring it back to you. But a lot of people don't understand that. What does that mean? That means it's just like you're reconnecting to your body. It's a connective energy. And that's what you got to remember. We're all energy and vibration.
If somebody has no concept, Deborah, of what meditation actually is and affirmation, what do they need to do? Do they need to sit down, lie down? Do they need to close their eyes? Do they need to put music on? How would you say for somebody?
Believe it or not, I tell people do what makes you feel good. Meditation could be in your bathroom, it could be in your shower, it could be on a long walk, no TV, no radio, no music, just walking. You could be hugging a tree. You could go outside, take your shoes off, root yourself, ground yourself into the earth. There's so many ways to do it. It's not all the bells and whistles and listening to, sound music or hum. It's not about that. It's what works for you. Silence is communication, and silence is about meditation. So it's about quieting your mind. Some people meditate, listening to the sounds of music, listening to the sounds of classical music. Some people need nothing and they just need to clear their mind. The easiest way for 90% of my clients that first come to me are the non-believers. Those are my clients. I work with the very mainstream. And of course, being on Sirius XM for so many years, 90% of my clients never had a reading, didn't understand what a chakra, what energy was. Those are my clients because I teach them and learned them how to connect and be connected. So it's basically to listen to your body, and it's just quieting down your mind and inhaling and exhaling. It's almost like going back to the core. It goes back to the Gita. I always tell people go back to that third chakra. Inhale and exhale. 5 inhalations, inhale, exhale, and release that fear and visualize white light coming in and exhaling out black smoke. So the old sheds, the old dies, the old goes, and you're actually going through what we call a rebirth process. So to me, it's all about rebirthing yourself back to the Gita, back to that third chakra. That's really the answer to meditation.
Mm, I love that. And just to kind of disclose a little bit what I do in my morning routine when I get up, first of all, straight out of bed, I have like a freezing shower. That's
Oh, I love that.
I love I love
Oh,
that.
yeah, you're waking up all those meridians, girl.
Oh yeah, bro, absolutely. And I'm high as a
You're
kite.
a brave, but you are a brave girl because a lot of people can't do that.
Well, it's 5 years that I've been doing it, and it's
That's
been.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, no, but you know what? As a tip to anybody that would like to engage it, I think you have to find that part on your body which is kind of easy to have cold on. And once that is done, for
Right.
me, it's the face. Once that is done, the rest of the body is a doddle. So for me, the whole thing about starting with your feet or with your hands and then your arms and then the rest of the body doesn't work. I need to go straight with my face. And once my face is wet and cold,
The
that's
rest of the body is fine.
the
Yeah.
rest of the body is fine. And then I go downstairs, I have my matcha, and I step onto the
I
terrace.
love my matcha. I've been drinking matcha for 30 years, girl.
Oh, wow, wonderful. My, a couple of decades alongside. I only discovered it thanks to my daughter about 10 years ago. Isn't
Oh,
it a
wow.
fantastic drink? Fantastic drink. I mean, it was so hyped, and people go like, yeah, it's fancy, it's green. No, read about it. Read how it's
No, it's
supposed to read.
great for inflammation.
Right.
Listen, earlier last year ago, I had a lupus trigger due to the flu, believe it or not. I caught
Oh,
the flu. I got really, really sick, and I had a lupus trigger and all these things, like never been to doctors, had all these things going on. And I energetically healed myself and released it. And I am 100% back to normal. I'm like, none of that, all of it's released. But I did a lot of high inflammation things to release. And matcha is my number one go to. But I've always drinking matcha and like just detoxing the body with lemon, water, things like that. I mean, the universe gives us, Mother Nature gives us everything we need. So why not use those things, those instruments? So it's all about mind, body, and soul cleansing. And I'm all about the enema. And the enema means releasing it. My clients will call me on the podcast, The Psychic Connection with Deborah Graham, and they'll be like, hey, we need a spiritual enema from Deborah Graham. And what that basically is, releasing it. Because if you hold on to that stuff, girl, woo, that's some deep and large toxic stuff. So you got to get that energy out, whether you're detoxing it, detoxing energy, because all those emotions stay in there. And that's all about cleansing and releasing.
yeah, exactly. And you know what, Deborah, this is exactly what this icy shower in the morning gives me. I want to let the night go because for me, then morning is magic. I get up really, really early. And that's kind of part of the first cleansing and the lemon
Yes.
water with the curcuma and all the other stuff that I put in. I will not disclose because people they go like, what the hell is she on about? And
No, but it
then,
helps you and it
yeah.
gets you to where you need to get to. And it actually helps raising the vibration.
Yeah, and then the other thing I do, and let me know what you think about it. I step out onto the terrace most of the time barefoot, and I kind of connect with the angels.
Absolutely.
I
Yes,
speak
I
to my
love that.
mom and stuff. All those angels.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're
Mm.
making a deep connection.
Yeah, this is kind of like my first act in the morning, and then I'm kind of half ready to go and absorb the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah, but this
Ooh,
detoxing, this is
you're just releasing. You're letting it all out.
yeah.
Ooh, I love it. I felt that energy. It's like a purge. You know,
Mm.
you are an empath. I'm sure you're aware of that because you've been seeing things at a young age, okay? And you have a very strong third eye. And
Mm.
this is in your DNA. It actually runs back to your mother's mother's mother. So you do have this vibrational energy, but you hold on to a lot and it's right in the back of your neck and shoulders. And it's right there, right between your neck and shoulders and that vagus nerve. So that's where you hold on to a lot of your emotion. But I feel like you came in here to learn because you actually was a shaman in another life. So I am picking up on at least 47 past lives. But I feel like you've never completed anything. You've done things 80%, 90%, but never 100%. And I feel like you came back here to learn. In fact, you chose your mom and dad. I just needed to tell you that. Not that they're not good parents, but it just means that you came back to basically be a leader, not a follower, and be a teacher and also a writer because this is things that you've done in past lives.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Does that resonate with you?
It does resonate with me, and it's a few times that I've already had regression hypnotherapy, and I had
Mm-hmm.
past lives, and I have seen my past lives, and it all varied, but definitely the first time it seems in my past life I never had a child, which I completed in this life, and I was
Praise
never
God.
yeah, and I was never married. I was always a single woman. I was never a man. I was always a woman in my
Right.
past
But you
life.
was a nun before too. You took care of orphanage children. So you chose to take care of the orphanage children and heal them. So that's why you came back into this lifetime to have your own. So kudos. You
Well,
missioned it. You did
well,
it. But you got to let yourself receive love. You have a hard time letting somebody take care of you. You're so used to giving. So you are all on the right side of the body. You got to start receiving on the left side. So that's part of your movement is allowing somebody to really love you and care for you because you're so used to being in the driver's seat. You have to let go. And you have a hard time letting go. That's part of your control issues.
absolutely. I micromanage everything. I'm the queen of mise en place. I mean, everything is always kind
I
of,
get it, but I love it. I love it. I love it because you're high energy.
yeah, yes,
You're
absolutely.
part alien and part human, girl.
Oh
You're
my
on two
God,
different frequencies.
what about the alien part? How is the alien part? What does that mean?
Well, it just means that you're like a computer. Aliens are like computers. They're on a higher frequency. They're more connected on a higher vibration. So that means that you're in the physical world, but you have a lot of downloads late at night too, between 2 and 3 in the morning. That's when your information's coming in.
I'm often awake during that time. I'm often
That's when the information coming up. That's probably because you're getting waked up because you're getting those tremors. It's almost like you're leaving the body. Your spirit's going to a different dimension.
Wow. Okay. Well, I just thought, oh my God, I need to sleep. I'm getting up so early.
No, it's because the information is coming in and is trying to elevate you, but you need to pay attention to that too.
Yes, paying attention to it is one thing, but then how do I execute on it? How do I make that a positive thing for me and also for, let's say, the people close to me or just my environment?
By trusting it and believing in it and not paying attention to it and just accepting it for what it is and just go with the flow. Let go, let spirit, and just act on it and allow the information to come in.
Okay, well, I could go on about me now for ages, of course, but I
Oh,
won't
I love it.
because I love it. Let's do that after, but let's continue to share with our community your fantastic tips. We had tip number 3, crystals, Deborah.
Crystals are very important to actually take them and put them in the full moon overnight because what they'll do is they'll actually get that energy and they'll revibrate them to a higher level and actually help you feel that energy. But I always recommend having clear crystal quartz or selenite because selenite is basically kind of like a universal remote control. It kind of goes into all the energies and it adapts to all vibration. And having selenite actually will help raise your vibration and frequency. Now, the clear crystal quartz is clear intentions, but if you don't have clear crystal quartz and you just have whatever crystals you have, that's a great time to set them outside overnight into the full moon because it'll actually recharge them.
They recharge them, and then if I take the crystals back into my house or close to me, they will continue to feed
Charge them.
me.
Yes, you'll feel because it cleanses them. You got to remember, it's kind of like the garbage. You got to take it out now and then. Same thing with the crystals. It absorbs energy. You have to go release it. And that's what the moon does. It actually recharges it.
Oh, fantastic. Journaling and gratitude. Now that's an interesting one.
Absolutely. Journaling during that time and basically releasing the old and the worn out. So let's just say somebody hurt you, lied you, abused you, or has done something to you that you haven't actually let go of, or you've had your own traumas. This is a great time to journal it, write it down, and then actually let it go. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, and actually bury it into the earth. So you're allowing the old energy to shed and die, and then the new energy is coming in. So you're actually resetting your own intentions.
One thing for sure, journaling is also a form of cleansing, but also a form of, being your own sparring partner, which is good.
Correct.
The kind of silence within you, but kind of spelled out on the other side,
Correct.
which is
Because
great.
you're releasing stuff, you're letting go.
You're letting go. And what I tend to do, if I want to release a specific person out of my life emotionally, I actually write down the name that I want them to go, that kind of like I'm releasing them, but
It's
without
like
being
this
upset.
was me now and then. Yes, you're not wishing them bad. Of course not. This is not anything negative. This is positive energy for you and them so they can move on and you can move on. So it's a reverse transformation, letting go of the old and allowing the new to come for both parties.
For both parties. Yeah, this is what I was trying to say, and I'm so happy you just mentioned that, Deborah. It's not a negative thing wishing somebody badly. It's just
No,
like,
of course not. And you should never wish anybody bad because that stuff will come back and bite you in the butt, deep and
yes,
large.
yes. And when I write it down and then I burn it, I actually burn it in the sight of the
That's
moon.
fine. If you really feel that energy to burn it, go for it. More power to you. I just try to do it the easy way because I don't want nobody to catch themselves on fire. So I just basically say, cut it up, bury it into the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The old sheds, the old dies, and the new energy is rebirthing during the full moon.
Gratitude, Deborah. Why is gratitude such a powerful emotion? Why can it trigger so much? What can it trigger and why has it so much power?
Well, gratitude is be thankful for the things you have and, giving back to the earth, giving back to the universe. It's also a great time to plant seeds. So whether you want to plant a rose garden, a bush, whether you want to plant, some seeds, you want to do some herbs, whatever it is, planting is gratitude to the earth because you always want to give gratitude and you always want to give thanks to Mother Earth. That's why I like going outside when it's raining because I believe it's a natural cleansing. It's almost like a rebirth energy because the universe is cleansing our energy and it's giving us rain to cleanse our soul.
Hmm. So these are the let's say the force majeure that what we see and what we get, be it the fire, be it the rain, be it the wind. That is one thing. But on the other hand, gratitude, I always feel when I feel gratitude, I never feel lack. because it gives me a sense of abundance that especially when I feel bad, I'm like, okay, so what do I have? If I feel such a lag and I'm so upset, I'm in pain. So let's just engage in a proactive session of, let's say, I don't know, like a repetition of gratitude. I'm grateful for this and that.
Right. Well, you'll be thankful. You're grateful for your child. You're thankful you never had a child in any one of those lives. So you're grateful and gratitude for your baby. You're grateful and gratitude for your health. You're grateful and gratitude for the food you have, for the roof you have. Your gratitude is thanking God, the universe, whether you call him God, Allah, master, teacher, creator. I like to call it the committee. Gratitude is that you're thanking the universe that you're actually here, because it took billions and trillions of cells to get your butt here. So you have to be thankful for what you have. So that's gratitude.
That's gratitude, and it's very, very strong. Moon circle is the last tip. What do you mean by that?
Well, moon circle is to surround yourself with the moon circle and just surround yourself with positive energy. Some people like to give honey and fruit back to the earth. So you can actually take honey and fruit and actually put it into the earth, bury it. I normally take an apple, and you can actually bury it into the ground and take some honey, put on top of it any kind of honey to bring that sweetness, and ground yourself in a circle with friends and family. So if you want to call people over, you want to have like a little party and do some kind of like fruit ceremony, so you're giving back some gratitude to the earth, it'll actually bring back energy and vibration. Another thing I recommend for people to do is take a little bit of their hair from the back of their neck right at the hairline and bury that into the earth as well. If you don't want to do the honey and fruit, I recommend doing this and putting some of your hair, so the old sheds, the old dies, and you're actually giving a strand of your DNA. So you're actually getting that energy to rebirth and actually move you forward, as we talked about early on with the 6 tips of having that energy giving back from the forest. So the forest will give you back what you need.
I love that, and that you can actually take something physical to demonstrate, because anything physical has a vibration, has our DNA. Yes,
Absolutely. It's all
yes.
about connection.
It's all about connection. Okay, then eh, let's talk a little bit about love in general, Deborah. And I'm sure you've had many, many of these very desperate ladies and gentlemen call you and say, "Why do I always attract the same type of person? They always turn out to be that, that, and that, or it never works out. I'm always attracting assholes. What is it with me, or what is it with them?"
90% of it is yourself, and it's your energy, the way that you were brought up, the way you were raised in your home environment, or it could be from your past lives, the people that loved you, left you, walked out on you, or died, whatever it could be. You're holding on to that. You got to thank your exes, okay? You got to thank your partners for using you or taking advantage of you, because it made you a stronger person into the person you are today. You got to thank them, because if they weren't the assholes, as you said out there, then you wouldn't be stepping into your power and meeting your true partner and soulmate and your twin flame. So many of my clients will be like, okay, my ex-husband, he was a liar, a cheater, but now they found their twin flame soulmate. So you know what I say? Thank that ex-husband, as I like to call him, or ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or whoever it was, then now, because they allowed you to meet your partner and soulmate. And I believe that people do come in our life for a reason and a season. Sometimes you're only meant to have children with those people. Maybe they were just a great sperm donor and that energy, or you were just a great incubator for them. You know what I'm saying? And that woman used you or hurt you, or person, or whoever it was, they, them, she, he, whoever, and they hurt you and they abused you. But this was part of you getting stronger. You have to pay attention to the signs. Why are you so vulnerable? Why do you attract these people? Why do you have a loser magnet on your forehead? And that's where I give them the Deborah Graham enema to help them find their partner and their soulmate, because that person could be already right there in their life. It could be a soulmate, somebody they knew from a past life. It could be a neighbor. It could be a friend. It could be a companion. It could be somebody that's a reconnected flame that's coming back into your soul, so you can really connect back with that soul and partner. But you have to clear out the energy. And that's why I call myself the human weed whacker, that I basically go in there, pull out the weeds, go down to the root, to the core, and not like your traditional normal matchmakers and say, I'm looking for a girl, with big boobs, blonde hair, blue eyes, good looking, and I want somebody who's going to be there for me and be my plus, 2 or whatever it is. Or you're looking for that tall, dark, and handsome person. That's not what I do. I'm shallow how. I don't look in you. I don't look at you. I look in you. I become you. and I connect with you. So you're seeing that person into your soul 30, 40, 50 years down the road and give you what you need. Maybe not what you think you want, but what you really need to connect with a soulmate. Because listen, if you're looking for a superficial wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and if you're a serial dater, as I said, I'm not your person. Don't waste my time. But if you're looking for the true love, the true connection, that's why I always say, check us out on our podcast, The Psychic Connection with Deborah Graham, or go to our website, psychicdeborahgraham.com, for more information where you can book your own one-on-one or be a live guest and get a free live reading on the air. But whatever it is, you're going to learn something through your partners. Go back, study those partners, study those relationships, because that's what's going to help you. Because if we all were Stefford's wife, we all had everything perfect in our life, life would be boring. So life is about a give and a take. You have to give and receive, and never look at what I need. The biggest problem that I have with all of my relationship people that are looking for love is having a 50-50 relationship. Most people are not willing to give up 50% of their time. 90% of them, well, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Okay, it's great what you want, but what are you willing to give up? What are you giving up? What are you releasing? What are you willing to do for somebody else? Because it's not all about you, because nobody died and made us all king or queen. We're all going through a temporary human experience, right? And as we're learning and we're growing, we have to realize that we have to give back to that person too.
I once heard, if you want to attract somebody in a certain with a certain vision of a certain type, you have to be that person first.
Absolutely. And you have to love the one you're with. That's why having some rose quartz in your life is good, because it's self-love, unconditional love.
Yeah, I do have rose quartz.
That's good, girl.
Bracelet.
And keep it with you, because you're ready to open up that heart chakra. I can feel love is all around you, girl. It's happening.
Before we close off, Deborah, it's two questions I have. One is, you mentioned twin flame. A lot of people don't know what a twin flame is.
Well, there's actually three. There's soulmates. That could be a soulmate connection from somebody you knew from a past life. You feel the soul energy. It could be a friend. It could be a girlfriend. It could be a man. It could be a woman. It could be a friend in your life, somebody who is a soulmate. Then you have connecting soulmates. Maybe you didn't choose them. They didn't choose you, but you were only meant to be with them, in your case, to have your child. Okay, so those are what we call connecting soulmates. That was what you call your for now, not your forever. Then you have what you call twin flame soulmates, that are connecting really deep and large, where you're actually two physical bodies, but you're one trapped soul. So you're feeling their energy. So when they're high, you're high. When they're low, you're low. So you're actually feeding off of each other's energy.
The last question I wanted to ask you is, you mentioned that we carry a lot from our ancestors.
Absolutely.
Can I look at my parents that, I chose my parents to become who I am now and continue to become? Can I look at my parents and say, this is the reason why I attract that type of partner, and this is where I have to be careful? Or can I deduct from my own parents more or less what sort of relationships I will attract in future?
Absolutely. It has a lot to do with that, but you got to remember, we learn most of everything from 0 to 7. That's when the brain is being programmed. So you got to look at your environment. Also, you think about yourself, was you in a happy place? Was you in an unhappy place? What type of trauma? Was there a lot of moves? Did your family, not show you the love, not show you the attention? Did you feel like you had abandonment issues? So many things come. I feel like it's a little bit of everything. It comes from our DNA. It comes from the way we were brought up. It comes from past lives. There's so many different modalities. There's not one, it's many, but I say it's a mishmash. It's not one thing, it's all things. But when you actually identify with that and you become whole, perfect, and complete, and again, we talked about self-love and unconditional love. Love the one you're with, not the person you want to be with. You love you first, and then you're able to give love. Because if you think she or he is going to make you happy, you got another thing coming, baby. Ain't gonna happen, not in this life. So you got to find love within you in order for somebody to attract and connect, and make sure that you're in a good, stable place. Because sometimes what you think you want is not always what you need. And don't look at the outside, look at the inside. And I always say, go out on 3 dates within 3 weeks and stay monogamous for 3 months. That means don't have sex for 3 months. You could kiss, you could hug, you could touch, but don't put the lizards in the lily pad or pat the what. That means that you connect on an emotional level, not a physical level. And that's probably one of the hardest things, again, for my daters, is to follow that rule of 3. But it works. And 90% of my matches work because they stay monogamous for 3 months. They go out, they hug, they can touch. But again, don't do the deed. It's like a chocolate cake. The longer you wait, the better it tastes.
The better it tastes. And, especially in this online dating era, which seems to be kind of weaning off. I've got quite a few friends that are still looking for love or back on the market, and they use these platforms. And A, they're not very happy. B, I was flabbergasted to see, because for me, it's just not something I've engaged in yet, is that I just think they do things parallel. I am an analog person. So when I have, met somebody that might be
Yes.
interesting, I focus on that person. And then I go like, okay, maybe it's not him. But they kind of go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 different guys. We'll see which horse is going to make the
I know.
race.
That's why I say
What's
we're so
going on?
connected. I wrote the book, Get Your Head Out of Your App. And that's really what it's about. We're so connected, and yet we're so disconnected that we swipe left and swipe right, and we try different things, But you got to really just meet that person. I always say meet them within 3 weeks. And if that person's not ready to meet you within 3 weeks, then that person's just not so into you. And again, so many people are putting themselves on online, and I'm not boo-hooing online, but I'm an old-fashioned person. My marriage was arranged. So I'm Greek Orthodox. My family's from Mykonos. And my marriage was arranged. My son's marriage was arranged. My daughter's marriages were arranged. My relationship matching are arranged marriages. That's kind of what I do. I help them find their partner and soulmate and help them connect. So that's what I do. I arrange their marriages and find their soulmates and partners. And even if they're already in a marriage, in a relationship, I help them reset, reboot, and respice up that energy. That's what I help them do by connecting, but also going out. What happened to going to happy hour and just show up, dress up, and just be there? If not, you might have a laugh with somebody. Maybe that person may not be the right person for you, but maybe you got a friend for them. Maybe they got a friend for you. And heck, you might pick up a friend or two while you're out there in the world. So
Out,
that's what I always say. Get out, because just
exposed.
setting and burying your head in the sand like an ostrich is not going to work.
No, nobody's going to come home and hop under your shower. You need to go out there
Absolutely. You
and get.
said that
Yeah, it's Raining
100%.
Man, one of the best songs ever.
Ooh, I love that song. Yeah,
Isn't it
baby.
one of the most
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Woo! Can I get an amen? Yeah, baby.
Exactly, exactly. Let get myself soaking wet. What is it? I don't know. It's fantastic. Anyway, let me quickly wrap up and also kind of summarize your six tips to manifest love during a full moon. So set intentions, meditate and affirm, crystals, journaling, gratitude, offerings, and then the moon circle. And if anybody wants to find out more deeply, Deborah, of course, has written a book, has a fantastic podcast. She's never alone there. You can ring in, ask your questions. You have to be able to be just like kind of stripped naked in front of everybody by Deborah.
Because I go deep and large. Yeah, and they could get a free reading on the podcast, The Psychic Connection with Deborah Graham. And all they need to do is go to psychicdeborahgraham.com. And hey, for all your listeners, because you were so kind and nice to bring me on, I'm going to give them 50% off their own one-on-one psychic reading if they want to book one. Just mention I was on your show, on your podcast, and I'll be happy to give them and honor them that 50% off.
I love that. Thank you very much. Deborah, then what is the key message you want to leave our community with today?
Live your life today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because you never know what's going to happen. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a damn good time. So enjoy what you have and enjoy what the universe has given you.
Yes, with full
And
gratitude.
be present.
Be present.
Full
Thank
circle.
you. Yes, full circle. Be present. Say thank you for what you got and actually see what you got. Deborah Graham, thank you so much for being on the Pulse. And thank you also, my dear On the Pulse community. And I'm sure you enjoyed this session. You'll find all the contacts of Deborah Graham on my website. Connect with her, ring in, and she has a special offer for you, as you heard. See you next time. Bye.